Hey yo, what is going on guys? Cash and Clean here. So for today, I just wanted to talk about each individual thing from the PTS. And if this already goes to the live servers, if you're watching this from the future, then this will be a general guide and then also just like what this is kind of all about. So for this video, I just wanted to talk about this thing over here, the Dragon Pathfinder. And you can also find it right over here. And if you pick it up from this NPC, as you can see, you can place it in your cornerstone and your club world. So one or the other, or you can just do both if you wanted to, just pay extra. And I'm just going to use this one for the sake of the video. So what this is pretty much it finds dragons for you, and every dragon will be in here. Well, it should be in here. And the cool thing about this is that it tells you how to get them. So this right here says, unlock through consumption of 5 Azulian dragon souls, which is crafted at the Dragon Crucible in the hub world. So it's just going to be from this thing. And you may notice that there's 2 dragon souls for this one over here. I don't believe there's an actual way to get these still from the game. It's just going to be referring to the Azulian dragon soul over here, consume them, and then that'll get you the fletchling. And just know the fletchlings aren't the full dragon. So the full dragon, I'll just do moon wing for example. So this is going to be the full-on adult dragon, and you get it from getting 50 of the dragon souls. And if you want to see your progress, you can check it up here because it'll tell you how much you have. I already have it, so that's why it's doing that. But for the dragon soul specifically, you're going to go to badges, and then these ones over here. This is a dragon ascension dragon. And in this example, I did moonwing, so we'll go to moonwing, and we can take a look over here. So at 50 souls, you get the dragon, but you want to go further. I don't know why they don't include this in here, but you want to go further because at 75, you get the stats. So you definitely do want these stats. These are permanent. They will be on all of your characters. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to have the thing equipped. As long as you have it, you get all these stats. And the other cool thing is that if you get all the way to 100, not only do you get the full mount, which I'll show you in a second, but you also get 350 mastery. And mastery is pretty important. Well, up until 500 Trove mastery, because you can just look over here. Just hover over this. It'll tell you for every level to 500, you get 0.6% HP and 0.2% damage. It's not a lot, but it adds up in the long run. And you're getting 4 power rank per level. Then everything after that, you're just getting 1 power rank and 1 magic find. So that's the deal with mastery, and these are going to be your badges. So those are going to be your dragon ascensions, so your dragon souls. And if you're confused on what each thing is, so Errol for example, like if you don't know where to find it, you can just do this, just type in Errol, and it'll tell you over here it's a legendary dragon. So those ones were just the ascensions. If you want to find the other, I don't know why they just don't combine them, but other dragons, you're going to go to travel and then dragons over here. And it was a legendary dragon, so you'll find it right over here. And that is going to be Errol Bolt. And at the moment on the PTS, the detail shown is just going to be up to legendary dragons. I'm pretty sure they're going to add the primordials and other descriptions later on. So be on the lookout for that once it goes to live servers. And if they do have a mistake somewhere, we should probably report it somewhere, just so a newer player just doesn't get confused with all this. So it is cool that they added it next to the Dragon Crucible. I think this is a great addition to the new players, but my big thing here is that they need to add a quest line. It needs a quest line. If it doesn't get a quest line, people might still be confused about this. Like, yeah, you can probably catch on and learn from it, but there's a bigger picture here, something that we really need. Well, maybe not everybody, but if somebody brand new is playing Trove, like, how would you get these dragon coins? How would you get these fragments and everything like that? So what the quest line should do is 100% tell you about the hourly challenges, so the coin challenge and the biome ones. And it needs to specifically say how to do them and how random they are, because on the hour, you're either going to get a coin challenge. They're pretty easy to complete. There's multiple maps. And then the other one could be a biome challenge, so you have to go to a specific biome. And on top of that, you could also get a rampage alert. So I highly recommend, if they're going to make a quest line, if they can at the very least implement that stuff. And after talking about the dragon coin situation, maybe you have like some bonus dragon coins or some soul dragons as like a little reward for completing the quest line. Just a little something, just so the newer players kind of get the idea of, okay, we got to focus on dragons. They're pretty important. And if you are a new player watching this, dragons are important because they give you permanent stats, and you can just kind of go through each dragon. So these are the fragment ones, for example. As you're farming, you'll collect fragments for certain dragons, and if you're curious about the dragon, you can try to find it in here, and on the bottom you can see which stats they give. So those are the fragment ones. If you do pick up an egg, so like this is the one for Halloween, if you pick up this egg, this is going to be how to hatch the thing. I guess I don't want to say hatch because you're not technically hatching it. You're just crafting the dragon with the egg. So that's going to be all of that. And then if you need to craft the egg, it's going to be in here. And then the soul dragons we already talked about, those are in there. And then primordial dragons, you need diamond dragon eggs. And in order to get these, you have to open up empower gem boxes, or you have to craft it with your diamond dragonites. And in order to get those, you have to complete your daily star bar. Super important. I highly recommend if they can put that also in the quest line to talk about how important the daily star bar stuff is. And then this might be a bit of a stretch. It would be really nice if they added something in the contests. Maybe they just changed the rewards and had something for dragon coins. I mean, they don't really have to, but at this point in the game, there's just so many things you need dragon coins for. I guess not so many, but we just need a lot of it because you need the dragons, and then Luxian items and Fluxian items are pretty expensive, and you will need those things, so hopefully they can make some kind of compromise there. I understand why they raised the prices, but at a certain point, we're just going to run out of dragon coins, we're going to need them. Newer players are going to struggle getting them, so I hope they can find the right balance for all this. A couple other things I wanted to note about this Pathfinder over here is that you can hide collected, so if you are collecting dragons and you want to see which ones you're missing, just go ahead and click that. I have them all, so that's why nothing's showing. And if you're working towards a specific dragon, then you can try searching it, so we can type in any dragon name. I'll do Yorin, so Yorin over here. This is probably one of my favorites. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but it does remind me of Shadow Lugia once it shows the front. I don't know how Nintendo hasn't came after Trove for this, but they have a Mudkip hat style, and they also have this Shadow Lugia, which was also from Pokemon Gale of Darkness, if you guys ever played that game. If you're curious, it's gonna be this dragon over here. It does look like Shadow Lugia. Like, it's pretty close, if you guys ever played that game. It does shoot fireballs, so dragons are pretty cool. And on top of that, like I mentioned, gives you permanent stats. Now, the cool thing about the primordial dragons compared to the other ones is that they give you even more power rank. And as you can see, I'm getting 1012 power rank from these dragons over here. Now, a big thing to note, that power rank that you get is going to be based off of your gems. So this is a 10% increase from my fire gems. So since my fire gems are done, they're max, that's how I'm getting all that power rank. So once you get to the level of Mystic and then augment your gems all the way and then finish the levels, then that dragon will show that you get that much. If you're trying to figure out which one to go for first, go for the one that gives you the most power rank. But before you even get to the power rank section and decide on picking, I highly recommend go for this one first. I know it's going to cost 3 eggs, but it'll give you lights, which is super important for doing damage. And on top of that, you're going to be given a nice little jump boost. So it even lasts a little bit after that. So as you can see from the timer up there, lasts for a good bit. The jump strength will come in handy in a lot of situations, especially if you're pretty low on jump. So I highly recommend getting this one first if you can. If you desperately need the power rank and you getting a specific primordial will get you to that power rank milestone, then by all means you can go for it, but I still recommend going for this one. Even if you don't like how it looks, I still recommend it. I know that it costs a bit extra, the diamond dragon eggs over here, but as of right now, that is going to be the best one. Then after that, you can kind of pick and choose whichever one will give you the most power rank at that given moment. Just know that whatever character you're on, the gems are going to be a little bit different, so take that into consideration. So once you get to your main class, your main farming class, or your main damage class, whichever one you end up choosing, then you can go for whichever dragon that you need. And as for which dragon to go for in general, fragments, hatch, dragon souls, any of these, so just know that these ones will kind of take a while to finish. It'll be about 400 dragon coins. You could go for these, but it's going to take a while to finish the souls. Like for most of them, you're going to need 75 to even get to the stats portion. Almost all of them, you'll need 75, and then you'll need an extra 25 after that to get the good bit of mastery there. And the cool thing about these is that they give permanent jump. I'm pretty sure all of them give permanent 1 jump. It's only 1, but I mean, you can get jump from other stuff like your gear or the ring that you have. And once you become an endgame player, then you're not going to really need jump, so it's not going to be as important. So if it was up to me, I would just pick an easy dragon, and a lot of the easy dragons are going to be in these fragment sections, and I might just make a video specific to these dragons. But if you're brand new, I highly recommend going for this dragon over here. Just farm on Friday. You're going to need these Sagely blue dragon scales. All you have to do is go into Forbidden Spires, stay in the biome, don't do cursed skulls, and fight every enemy that you see. Even the enemies that are not in the dungeons, fight those, and you can fight the ones in the dungeons as well. You can get gear crafter boxes as well, which you'll need to get eventually crystalline cores. If you're confused on how that works, highly recommend checking out my gear crafter box guides, but definitely go for this as it doesn't even require dragon coins. And on top of that, there's a couple Bomba Royale dragons you can go for that also don't require it. So you want to come down here in this spiral, then go over here to the bench. Okay, I lied. It's 50 dragon coins. You can easily get 50 in a day, especially on a Friday. You can easily get that. It's just going to require a lot of Bomba Royale because you'll need these fragments. Then you'll turn the fragments into the egg, and then from the egg you'll have the resource needed to craft the dragon. And then the other one over here that doesn't require dragon coins is going to cost you 300 of these burnt coins. And from the burnt coins you can get from the tomes up here, and you can also convert your stuff if you have this coin over here into the burnt coin, so it's not going to be too difficult to even get that dragon. And the stats are somewhat decent. I mean, this one gives you permanent 5 jump, so pretty handy stuff. So I feel like I rambled on a little bit too much, but I hope all of that made sense. After you get those basic ones, you'll end up collecting fragments. You'll realize which ones are easier to go for. You'll realize which eggs are easy to craft, so you can kind of pick and choose which one to go for. I recommend just going for the ones that you think will give you helpful stats. So this one's pretty easy to get, this pinata egg. Just throw your pinatas. Eventually you'll get the dormant egg. Only thing is that it'll cost you the 300 dragon coins, so make sure you're doing your hourlies. and the stats for this are pretty good if you're using a magic damage class. But even then, the attack speed is pretty handy to have as well. And that is going to be all for today's video. If you guys have enjoyed, please drop a like, as it does help out my channel a lot, and consider subscribing. It's free and you can leave whenever you want to. And on that note, I'll talk to you guys later.